Welcome back to the Prompt Zambia. On today's episode, we have a special guest. I'm here with
Munyindei.
Munyindei. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay.
You're a very busy person, and firstly, I want to thank you for coming here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so firstly, let's start about like your childhood. How was your childhood growing up and so?
Okay. Um. Okay. I'm the last born in the family of two. I have an elder sister. Um. Yeah. I was born on the Copper Belt, Kitwe, raised in Luansha, so I'm a proud Luansha resident.
Okay.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Both parents late.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what else to
So,
ask.
okay, so let's say growing up, all your parents were still around. Who would you like look up to and stuff to say that okay, these elements I think at once.
I think both of them. Both my
Okay.
parents are very skillful.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was an architect, so he was really good with his pencils and pens and whatnot. So I think I got the ability to sketch from him. Then my mom was just equally as skilled. She used to work for Mopani,
Yes.
copper mines. She was very skillful also in the kitchen. Um, yeah,
Okay.
so I think I learned my catering skills from her, my drawing skills from my dad. I think.
You guys, she makes pancakes. I used to taste. That's pretty.
Everyone makes pancakes.
Except me, or at least not yet. So let's talk about like school life. What were some of the things that you wanted to study, and did you actually study them or change, and why?
Growing up, I didn't know what to do with my life, honestly.
Uh-huh.
If I'm to be honest, yes. So I did my primary in Wansha at Buteko Basic School.
Yes.
Then did my high school on the Western Province, St. John's Catholic School in Mongu.
Yeah.
Then did my tertiary on the Copper Belt again at Mufulira College. So I am a qualified science teacher.
Come on.
But packed those papers for a bit. Now I am a designer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get to the designer, why do teaching?
Why do teaching? So initially, I've always wanted to do something business related.
Yes.
I had a passion for numbers. I'm really good at numbers. So either banking or finance or anything accounts related. But then that had to be put on hold due to circumstances that were really beyond my control, especially that my parents died. So finances weren't really available for me and my sister. So we had to do courses that we could afford at that time.
Yes.
So I still want to pursue something to do with business, and yeah, but I did teaching. Initially, I wanted to do mathematics because I'm really good in numbers, like I said, but I was late, so I had to go in a science class because that was the only one that was available. So I ended up loving the subject because growing up I hated sciences, but found myself in love with all the sciences: physics, chemistry, biology, integrated science and whatnot. So yeah, I had to learn to adapt. Learned, graduated, never really practiced.
Okay.
Yeah, he told me not to talk about the design, so yeah, never really practiced, but still have that.
Okay. So then, when did you make the move from the Copper Belt to Saka?
That was 2 years ago, actually.
How did the decision come about?
How did the decision come about? So in my final year in college, I taught myself how to sew. I've always had the passion to make clothes because, like I said, due to financial stuff, I wasn't able to buy the clothes I would want to wear.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I have this interest, why can't I teach myself how to make clothes? So I decided to teach myself. Started with hand sewing,
Yeah.
then taught myself how to use a machine because I was fortunate enough to have a machine at my house, like my aunt's house, where I used to stay. So practiced, eventually got the hang of it. Taught myself how to cut using YouTube videos, tutorials, and whatnot. And yeah, started the business really slowly. I started by making bags.
Yes.
Yes, I started by making bags. Then head wraps, like already made head wraps.
Yes.
Then yeah, eventually started making like shirts.
Yes.
So my neighbor, who's a really good friend of mine, saw the potential and was like, why don't you start making me these outfits? Because you look nice and you're wearing. So I just look at you and I usually have events and I would want to have some outfits made.
Yes.
So made for her the first time. The second time she started posting on her page because she's a makeup artist, a really good makeup artist. So she had like a big following. So whenever she would advertise, everyone would ask her, "Who made this for you?" So she started giving people my number.
Come on.
So eventually, started making for my siblings, my cousins' home. Then they started advertising for me. So I just took it upon myself to maybe let me make it as a business. Let me turn it into a business because I'm just home. I'm not doing anything. So yeah, that's how the business started. That was 2020. So yeah, it's been a growing business ever since. Yeah.
Yes. But then my question was, you moving to the south.
So now, yes, fast forward 2022. Business was doing well. Still staying in my aunt's house. Then realized that okay, now I'm having different people like every day come to the house because I was doing it from home. And I had a child and just before graduating. So we'll get to that later. Yeah. So I was like, I think it's high time. Like I left my aunt's house and started my own thing because she's brought me up to this far. So I think it's now for me to be able to expand. I need to move. So I just took it upon myself. Woke up one day and I was just like, no, it's time. So relocated to Lusaka.
So that relocation, did you just move not knowing anyone or a cousin or what?
So I do have relatives here in Lusaka, but because of the nature of my business, I have like different people coming to my house. Coming to my house. So I needed that space where my clients would be free to do anything they want. Like if they want to dress up from the living room, they want to be comfortable. I was like, the only way that's going to happen is if I stay on my own. So yeah, I took it upon myself to look for a house, start staying on my own. Still doing the business at home because I didn't really want my child to be exposed to other people. I wanted to have my business and still be able to take care of my child.
Of course.
So yeah, I do my business from my place.
Okay. So before we talk about how the business is going and you being a mother, what important role did your aunt play? Was she supportive of the dream or how's it like?
My aunt was very supportive because she equally had a background of tailoring. So she used to make uniforms. She's a retired head teacher, by the way. So that's where the teaching also came about. So I used to sit down and watch her help her iron stuff. So I think that's where the interest of tailoring came about. The fact that I would watch her do it and see how happy people would be when they come and get their stuff. So I was like, I want to make people this happy. So I think that's where the interest also came.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to you, Auntie.
Yes, Auntie Jackie. We call her Auntie Jackie.
Auntie Jackie.
Yeah.
Who makes the jackets? No?
No, she doesn't make Jack. She's Jacqueline. So yeah, she's Auntie Jackie.
I try. So let's talk about motherhood. How has that whole journey been for you?
Motherhood. It's been a journey. I love the journey, 100%. I'm a single mom, by the way. So raising a child on my own, and having a business on the side, a very time-consuming business on the side, is not easy.
Yeah.
Especially because I want to be the one to raise my child myself. So it has its days. Most days are really good because I'm blessed enough to have a child that is very understanding. I consider my child really understanding because when she sees that I'm busy, she gives me my space. You know.
Before you continue, one thing I've noticed. Like you and your daughter, like you don't have to shout or anything. You just tell her.
No, we just politely tell each other, but she shouts at me. Can you imagine a whole 4-year-old shouting at a whole 26-year-old?
she is stubborn like her mother. I know what
I'm
I'm talking
not
about.
stubborn. I try.
Sure.
I try.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what kind of environment do you want to raise your daughter in?
A Christian environment. That's one.
Oh.
I'm fortunate enough to join a church that accommodates kids, that teaches kids the gospel according to their age. You know, it's always exciting when we're coming back from church and she's showing me like the papers. Usually they give us papers at church that show exactly what activities they had, the prayers they did. If they were coloring, they come with the papers. So it's very exciting for her to see and be able to tell me what she learned. I'm grateful to God that she also has a sharp mind. Like my daughter is really intelligent, so she's able to assimilate things and is able to explain them really well.
Yeah.
So I'm very fortunate that I have a child that is Christ-centered. Like she makes noise, she sings gospel songs like crazy in the house. You know when you want to sleep and then you just hear someone singing Kadosh, and you want to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't complain because at least she knows who God is.
Yes.
So that's one of my priorities, to teach my child to know God.
Yes.
Also, she's really intelligent, like I said. So I'm pro education. Like I really want her to get a really good education. That's why I don't care how expensive her school is, as long as I am sure that she is getting the right education. I'm okay.
The grace of the Lord
Shall
deliver. It never fails.
Yeah.
Right time. So
Amen.
does she have any aspirations to say, okay, mom, maybe I want to go to school or not yet?
She always says she wants to be a doctor.
Okay.
We are fortunate enough to be surrounded by people in the medical field. So she sees what they do. For example, if we were not feeling well, so one of my housemates will be like, oh no, this is what's wrong with you. And so she's learning. She's like, I also want to be a doctor. So I got her like toys. So like stethoscope and whatnot, so she knows how to write. So she really wants to be a doctor. So we are following that route.
You're creating a supportive environment to say, wherever you decide to go, I'll follow you and direct you.
Yeah.
You know, so let's talk about like makeup. I know you started with makeup. You know?
Yes.
Yes. How did that journey come, or the entrepreneurship journey?
There's a Bemba saying that says, you know? So I fell pregnant in my final year of college. So I thought to myself, what am I going to do at home to support this child I'm bringing on earth? Because I just can't sit and be a mom and be like, plus life wasn't really good in terms of my relationship with the dad. So that's the story for another day anyway. So I needed to do something. So I started with makeup. Like I said, my neighbor, she's a makeup artist.
Yeah.
So usually when she has like a lot of clients, she would call me and be like, oh, come and help me do eyebrows, because I knew how to do eyebrows. I need you to help me do eyebrows on the client. I'll do the rest. So I would do that. And then on our free time, she would teach me how to properly execute the eyebrows.
Yes.
So that's where also the interest of makeup came in.
So should she practice on her face, or
she does not allow anyone to touch her face actually.
Okay.
So usually I'll just do it on my cousins and whatnot. Yeah. Shout out to Kolo. Kolo really helped me perfect my skills. So she's a cousin of mine. She motivated me to really, even when like I know that okay, this work is really bad. she would always be there to pump in energy, always hype me up and be like, "Oh, you're good. You're
Yes.
going somewhere." Yes. So shout out to my cousin for that, because if not for her, trust me, my confidence levels would have been, hey, hey, yeah,
So yeah, about that bag, right?
yeah.
So you talked about doing your neighbors designing and stuff like that. So tell us about the stages your material has been on.
Ooh,
How?
okay. So starting up, yo,
Mhm.
um, starting up a business is never easy, but I think God just has a way of making things right in its own time.
Yes.
Because I started slowly, but started slightly at a larger scale. Because um, her name is Nora, by the way, the makeup artist. Nora's Glam Makeup. So she had a huge following. So whenever she posts something, it would reach different people, Lusaka, anywhere, Livingstone, as far back as Western Province.
Yeah.
Plus the movements that I had growing up. Grew up in Copperbelt, did my high school in Western Province, Lusaka, relatives and whatnot. So I had that wide range of contacts around.
Yes.
So putting my business out there wasn't really as difficult
Yeah.
because I had people sharing. I had
Yes.
the work was good enough to have speak for itself,
Yeah, yeah.
so to say. So I would find myself with people who would just randomly share stuff. So yeah, it was easy for me to branch in that way. So um stages. So I've made clothes for quite a number of celebrities.
Okay.
So they've really like helped me also branch off into that
Yes.
department. So one of the same celebrities I did outfits for
Yeah.
linked me up with one of the organizers of Lusaka Fashion Week. So I've done Lusaka Fashion Week. I have done Copperbelt Fashion Week. I have another one coming up in Namibia. So yeah, we're moving. We're moving.
Global.
You know, we're trying to
We're trying to
be
brand
international.
right now. So we do a lot of things together. We pray,
Yeah.
we do business together.
Yeah.
So we're trying to brand her for the global stage.
You
At
know.
this moment, Paris Week has to,
You know, we have
come.
to.
You know.
It's a prayer point.
Yes, yes. So, do you do all these things on your own, or do you do it with the team? How?
So currently, I'm looking for tailors. So if there's anyone who knows any tailor that's looking for a job, please send them my way, because
Okay.
I've been trying to look for tailors to build a team. So from as far back as 2020 to 2024, so it's just been me.
You wait.
From the cutting, from the
Uh,
tailoring, from everything, just been me.
uh, you guys don't understand this lady right here does bridesmaids, does the bride herself. How do you manage, or how much time do you ask for prior to the event? Because
Okay.
yeah,
So if it's a whole squad, I would always ask for a month,
okay,
because in as much as you can make a dress in a day, you still need time to perfect and do a lot of things. So I always ask for a month if that's a bridal squad. So
yeah,
if it's say just maybe a bride, say maybe doing a chilanga or something, I'll always ask for 2 weeks.
yes,
2 or 3 weeks. Now, because of this load shading that we have, I always ask for at least a month to 3 weeks. But if it's an individual dress, talk to me nicely. We can do it even in a day, two. But normal order has to be 10 working days.
okay. So, what are the requirements for the tailors that you want to employ, Madam Boss Lady?
Please, they need experience. In as much as I'm only 4 years experienced, I still need them to be really experienced, because what we're trying to build is something something big. We don't want a mediocre business.
Of course.
You know, we're trying to be international.
Of
So we
course.
need people that are skillful in terms of beading, sewing as well, cutting. I don't mind being the one to do the cutting because I want to have a relationship with the things that I am making because I'm that passionate. Even when I'm cutting, I need to make sure that I'm putting in all my emotions in what I'm doing because that's the only way that outfit is going to come out really nicely. So yeah, you need to be at least have knowledge on all kinds of machines as well. So yeah.
Okay. So then, yeah, only new cutting and sewing. What is beading?
So beading is like the detailing of a dress. Not
Okay.
all dresses require beading, but most bridal dresses require beading now.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have things like crystals, we have things like pearls. So those things need to be hand sewn.
Okay.
There are a lot of materials that cannot pass through a machine. You need to do that manually.
Yes.
So that's where now the beading department comes in. Like if they need to add pearls, they need to do what? That's their job.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, I I think I told you this when you talked about crystals in your dress.
Yeah.
I really was confused.
You had no idea what
I'm
that
like,
was, yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, are we going to the God mine and going to get
Yeah, no, you never know. We can put original
Uh,
pearls in your outfit. You never know.
But with those originals, we demand dollars.
Of course. Such we don't use kwacha.
Standard. It's a standard. So for someone to be a tailor, what does it take? You know, maybe they think it's an easy thing. What are some of the challenges you face and they need to pay on certain products?
Um, it takes a lot to be a tailor. It's quite easy to acquire the skill. You can go for a 2 week course on how to use a machine, how to cut, how to sew, and be a tailor. But for someone like me that's trying to make my brand really as big as we have talked about,
Yeah.
it requires you to really be patient and for you to have that excellence in you, to have that integrity in you, because we tailors are not trusted. I can't blame people who don't trust tailors, but yeah, you have to build that integrity amongst you and your clients. So for someone who is a tailor like me, it requires you to be really disciplined and focused on what you're doing and be really upfront with your people. Yeah.
I know, personally, I get bad for her because I'm always, she tells me, no, I'm doing this, I follow. I'm like, have you done it? What support
Yeah.
do you need? And everything. So, let's talk about, like, God. What important role has God played in your life?
Ooh, God is big in His own way, guys. Like when I sit down and think about the kind of life I have had, if not for God, I wouldn't have been here because my parents died when I was really really young. My
Yes.
dad died when I was 3.
Yes.
My mom died when I was 13. So growing up in a household where you know that okay, these are not my parents. My aunt and uncle did the best they could do.
Yeah.
But growing up being kept really tempers with your mentor,
Yes.
But yeah, it's been a journey. I was fortunate enough to have guardians that really loved God and really encouraged us to learn more about God. So, growing up in a Catholic church, you'd always find yourself at church. So, you would learn about this being, who is this, and whatnot. So, we had that basic. So, now after growing up and starting to learn about God the most and seeing how far back I have come and where I am at this stage, if not for God, bruh, if not for God,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't have the skill that I have. So I owe a lot to God. He is the center of my business all the time. I remember when we're doing our Bible study, we always talk about how miraculous He has been. So yeah, I'm really fortunate to have God by my side.
Yes.
Like he's my number one priority. Even when I'm working, I always put him first. I would always pray about it and be like, God, thank you for the day. Thank you for being who you are in my life. Thank you for the skill. Thank you for opening up my mind each and every day. So I'm very grateful.
Yes. And how important is your environment and surrounding to you in terms of following your goals and everything?
It's very important. It's very important. From the time I joined Mount Zion, I've been fortunate enough to have people around me that really encourage me, who really motivate me. People like you, very, very motivating. Because when we start talking about our backstories, you'd you, if people were us, would have given up a long time ago. A long time ago,
It's mad.
So I'm fortunate enough to have a good support system.
Yes.
I have friends like Tandy, I have friends like Paso, I have friends like Tiku who encourage me to pray every day, motivate me every day, encourage me, hype me up every day,
Yeah.
So having that Zen environment is really, really important because business is not easy. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. So you need to have a very, very big support system.
Definitely. And you want to thank Tad in the background because she is
Boo, boo, boo,
pissed
boo.
right now. She's so late. She's late. But it's all love. It's all love.
We love you, Tandy.
So before we go, since you're rushing, what are the next steps for you and also with MumusDreamcorner?
MumusDreamcorner, come 2 years, is going to be a household brand. I can tell you that. I can testify. Today, 24th November 2024. Come 2 years from now, we are going to have branches all over Lusaka, Copperbelt, Western Province, Southern Province, you name it. That's the goal. To just make it a household name and also to go international. So works are in the pipelines.
Come on.
That I can assure you. So just be on the lookout. You'll see.
On the Saturday acts and bank shares, most definitely. And then for the kids or the people that want to come after you, what words of encouragement do you have for them?
Words of encouragement is stay focused. Love God. Know God. Because without God, trust me, you need motivation, and there's no motivation that's going to come from people around you. It's going to come through God. Because when you look at Jesus' journey, that guy suffered, but he still was rooted in the Word of God. He still trusted his Father.
Definitely.
So, for those of you that want to look up to me, know God first, then watch the journey and be motivated.
That's a blueprint right there.
That's a blueprint right
there. Any other words?
Any other words? No, just follow my page, MumusDreamcorner, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Munyindei Chitondo. Yeah.
All right. Once again, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And we are going to have this in stages and stuff. Bigger things
we need to have a part 2. This time, relaxed.
Yes.
Drinking a mocktail.
Definitely.
Drinking a mocktail.
A
mocktail.
Lovely. And we have to thank the Mount Zion for allowing us to use these premises and the NCG teacher. So thank you very much. And hope you enjoyed. Please share, please like, and see you soon.